Hello and welcome back to Intuitive Flow with Mikaela Wallet. In today's episode, I'm just going to go on a little riff about how when you stick up for yourself, speak up, share your POV, don't shrink in conversations where maybe you disagree with what somebody else is saying and instead speak up and share your opinion. That's going to massively help you get even more rooted to who you are to your core. And that's the whole point. The point of thriving in life is truly learning how to embody the most authentic version of you. And you cannot embody the most authentic version of yourself if you are consistently shrinking yourself to make other people feel comfortable, right? Welcome to Intuitive Flow, hosted by me, Mikaela Wallet, an intuitive who uses neuroscience to reprogram your subconscious and trained intuition to get to the root cause of your problems to help you create a life that you don't need a vacation from. You've landed in the place you need to be to hear the no bullshit truth about why you keep repeating the same love and money patterns and how to finally break them. This podcast is here to wake you up. It's time to stop living as the watered down version of yourself and step unapologetically into the woman you came here to be. The woman who trusts herself deeply, holds powerful standards, and naturally attracts the love, money, and life she desires. Let's flow. When you start to decondition yourself from all of the societal pressures, beliefs, shit your parents put on you, your aunts, your uncles, your family, whatever, whoever, right, conditioned you to be who you are. It made up part of who you are, but like we want to uncondition yourself from that. When you start to do that, when you actually start to do the shadow work where you're peeling back all of the layers, you're figuring out why you do the things you do, why you act the way that you act, why you believe it the way that you believe, and like what you are choosing to believe instead. When you start to do that work, you're going to get put into multiple situations and experiences where basically you are being tested. Like, are you going to stand up for yourself? Are you going to set the boundaries? Are you going to set the standards that you say that you want to embody in real life? Like, are you going to implement the work into your real life? And it's in those uncomfortable conversations, in those experiences, that you basically prove that you are. And what I mean by this, I'm going to give you an example, of course, is let's say, okay, obviously what I do and what I believe in is not something that a lot of people can easily digest. The fact that I very much so believe that there is an energetic root cause to literally anything. I take radical responsibility for my life. I believe that I am the creator of my physical reality based off of my energy. That's not something that everyone here listening to this podcast definitely can like root and like believes that. Like, you wouldn't be here if you didn't, or if you didn't think that I was onto something, right? But not everyone believes that. And so there are some situations that I find myself in, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, where other people are sharing their point of view or their opinion or their life experience. And in my head, I'm like, I don't subscribe to that, or I believe this. And sometimes, most of the time, I'll share just a little snippet of how I could help them or what I believe and how to give them their power back by like not just feeling like a victim to their current circumstance. And they'll just kind of scoff at me. They'll be like, ha, okay, whatever. And this happened the other day. And I was with a friend, and I have a lot of friends who don't think the way that I think. And I have a lot of friends that do think the way that I think. Does that mean that I'm going to like not be friends with them because they don't believe what I believe? Like, absolutely not. Like, what are we in 12? No. I am we're just going to agree to disagree. But I'm also not going to shrink myself in a situation. And I'm also not going to give them unsolicited advice. But if it's about me, then I'm going to speak up, right? So we were talking about like pregnancy and getting pregnant and like obviously I'm getting married. So like soon that phase of life is going to happen for me. And I'm talking to my friend about, obviously I'm a business owner. So like building the business and continuing to build the business and scale the business as or alongside of being pregnant. I was like, there's no way, like I'm obviously going to be able to like build my business while I'm pregnant, and also after I have a baby. And she immediately goes, without saying, just wait, just wait. And I immediately went, I believe that there's an energetic root cause to everything. And I know that you're saying that because you're like, you've experienced, this was her own personal experience with pregnancy. During her pregnancy, she was sick basically the entire time. She was like throwing up, nauseous, all the things. And that was like the entire pregnancy she experienced that. And I believe that there's an energetic root cause in everything. Therefore, I mentioned to her, like, I understand you're sharing this based off of your own personal experience. However, I believe that there's an energetic root cause to everything. So any symptom that I experience, I'm going to intuitively channel the energetic root cause of it. And if I don't already know it already, and then I'm going to intuitively channel the exact shifts, tools, action steps, energetic tools, physical tools that I need to use in order to shift out of it, to not experience it for longer than I actually have to, because I've shifted my energy around the energetic root cause. She looked at me sideways, right? And that's okay. And we just continued on with our conversation. She kind of brushed it off. People still think I'm crazy, but I don't care, because that's what I believe and that's what I subscribe to. And I refuse to be a victim of my circumstances. And I refuse to allow pregnancy and becoming a mom like stop me from getting where I want to go in life. Like, I'm not going to become a mom who like lets all of her dreams and aspirations and goals of helping other people and continuing to create the life that I am desiring, just because I experience symptoms or like have a baby. That's just, I unsubscribe from that. And I understand that not everybody agrees to that, but I don't care. So it's not something that I'm going to allow to dictate how I move through life in the future. I'm going to use the work and implement the work that I know works, because I've seen it work in multiple situations, multiple scenarios with my clients and my own personal life. And that's just the bottom line of it. So the reason I say this is because every time I speak up, every time I share what I believe in, every time I share my point of view or an opinion, that helps me get more rooted to what I believe. And the more rooted I am to what I believe and what I teach, the more open other people are, because that's going to be reflected back to you, right? This is an inside out world. So if I wasn't rooted and I all of a sudden just shrunk in that moment, was like, oh yeah, you're probably right. Like, I should probably not bank on being able to scale my business during pregnancy, because what if I get sick? And what if I don't feel good? And what if I get whatever else there is to get during pregnancy that can basically wipe you the fuck out? I understand that I'm going to experience some symptoms, but like I said, I have the tools so that I can shift them and they don't last as long as they would have lasted if I wasn't able to shift my energy. But that's not the point we're getting to today. The point that we're getting to is when you are rooted in what you believe in, other people are more open to it. They're not going to give you so much like pushback, is what I'm looking for. And when you are getting a lot of pushback, if you are experiencing this, maybe you're new, right? Or maybe you're not new. Maybe you've been here for a while and you've been in my work, or you know the work that I do, and you are talking about it to other people, and maybe you are getting pushback from them. That's because there's a part of you that's not rooted to it. And that's okay, because the more you do it, the more testimonials you see from other people doing it, the more you see it working for other people, the more you see it working for yourself, is what's going to create that proof that your brain is looking for, and how you're going to get more rooted, along with the energetic ingredients that you need to get more rooted in whatever it is that you're teaching. And maybe that's like as simple of an ingredient of like, I remember when I first started off, I had to root to all of the ways this work has impacted my life positively. Okay. And I would write all of the things of all of the ways, all the situations in which this work had a impact on my life. And then it started off, or then I started also doing it with clients. So first it was just myself, and then I started booking clients, and I would see their testimonials and their life changing through this work. And I would, bring that proof and write that proof in my notes in my thing, because you want to be obviously rooted in what you're fucking teaching. You want to like be so rooted in it that nothing that anybody else says or thinks about what you do fucking matters, because it doesn't. If you know that it works, if you've seen the proof in the pudding, if you've seen it work for yourself, your mentor, your student, like your peers, that's what you want to connect to, because people are only like going to push back if you are not rooted. And also, they're always going to give you their own perception of like their own perspective of like what they've experienced from their past. If you've ever thought, why do I make money but it never stays? Or why does it feel like I'm doing everything right but my income just doesn't grow? This is for you, because the truth is, it's not your strategy, it's your identity. Money doesn't respond to how hard you work. It responds to who you believe you are and how safe your body feels holding it. And most women, they're trying to build wealth on a foundation that literally cannot hold it. That's why you have good months followed by pullbacks, income ceilings you can't break, or money that comes in and disappears just as fast. Inside Mrs. Wallet's money method, we fix that. This is an 8-week identity and energetic recalibration where you learn how to rebuild your money identity and regulate your nervous system around receiving more, and actually become the version of you who holds more money consistently. By week 3, the women inside are already seeing shifts. One of my students manifested a raise. Another had a random $6,000 deposited into her account. Not because they worked harder, not because they hustled more, but because they shifted the identity their money was responding to. This is what happens when you stop chasing money and start becoming the woman it stays with. So if you're done guessing and done repeating the same patterns, and you're ready to actually understand what your money is trying to show you, Mrs. Wallet's money method is for you. Check out the show notes below and start binging today. This is with anything, I think this is why parents always want to like help us and give us their advice. And there comes a point in your life where you're like, okay, is my mom and dad living the life, or is my mom living the life, or is my dad living the life that I want to live? And if the answer is no, like if you wouldn't switch places with that person, it's not just mom and dad, it's like anyone. If you wouldn't switch places with that person, with what they're doing with work, with the type of lifestyle they live, so on and so forth, then why would you take advice from them? Why would you subscribe to anything that's coming out of their mouth? There is so much unsolicited advice that I get that I just I just do that. I laugh. I just laugh and I go, you know what? I appreciate that advice. I see your perspective, but I believe this, and I'll share my beliefs. Or sometimes I won't even share my beliefs because it's not even worth the energy, because I know that they're so rooted in what they believe, and they believe, what is it? Whatever is your truth is your truth. And if that's the case for you, incredible, great. But like, I unsubscribed from that a long time ago. So I'm not going to listen to what you say. Like, I appreciate you. I know it's coming from a good place, but I'm not going to take your advice because I wouldn't switch spots with you. I wouldn't. So, moral of the story is really, one, speaking up, like not shrinking yourself when it comes to conversations. Now, it's not always worth your energy to, like, I'm not talking, going to battle with somebody about what you believe in versus what they believe in. Like, that's not always the best thing for you. You don't want to waste your energy like that. Like, you don't need to explain yourself to anybody. That's I unsubscribed from explaining myself to people a long time ago as well. And the reason that we explain ourselves is because we're like, okay, for instance, I saw this reel the other day that was, it was like a barber getting her, like, cutting hair, and it was a woman, and she was Korean, and I think she lived on Hawaii, and the guy in her chair was getting his hair cut, obviously, and his hair was super long, and she used the word nappy. And there was a bunch of people on the internet that got really pissed off that she used that word nappy to describe his hair, because it pissed off a lot of the African American community. Now, that's like, the only reason I'm bringing up this exact situation is because, well, here I go explaining myself. Look at me. I rewind. I digress. Don't do that. See, I still have to catch myself. But where I'm getting at with this is she went on into her comment section after getting a shit ton of hate in her comment section, a bunch of trolls, a bunch of hate about one word she said. And all she was trying to do was give a good haircut. And she used that word, and then she went into the comment section and basically explained how she's still trying to understand the language, and she didn't mean any, any harm, that people were misunderstanding her, that she didn't think anything of this word, that she didn't think that it was something that a word that she couldn't use, and that she really loves the African American community and like all of that stuff, right? So she was saying all of that. The minute that somebody doesn't like us, even if we don't even know who they are, even if they don't even matter in our life, even if we haven't seen them in years, we don't even have a relationship with them, and then all of a sudden it comes out of the woodworks where it's like they have a problem with something that you fucking said that was like, wasn't your intention at all, and it was just way blown out of context. And really fucking weird that they would even reach out and say something or like comment something, like, it's just like, why? Like, do you have anything better to do? Did this really piss you off that much that you had to take the time out of your day to like be mean to this poor little Korean lady? And even though you knew that she probably didn't mean anything by it, like in all reality, she probably didn't. Then she comes in to the comment section and she explains herself and redeems herself and makes herself feel better by like redeeming herself and explaining herself. But in no world will there will never be a world where you can control everyone else's opinions or somebody's opinion or perspective about something that you've said. Period. End of story. Like, you will never be able to control somebody else. Like, you're always going to piss somebody off. Like, somebody is going to take what you said and scramble it and make it something that it never was meant to be. Like, especially if you're putting yourself out there on the internet. And I think that's what's so scary about these talking head videos that I've been doing, and that a lot of people have been doing, right? These videos where I just yap, and even podcasting, like it's any platform where you're talking, your voice, your perspective, your words can be scrambled, and somebody can take them out of context, or somebody can take what you're saying and like not agree with it and then like get mad about it and get upset. And the first initial reaction that we have is to explain ourselves. And the reason that we want to do that is because we're human and we want everybody to like us. But this thing is that not everybody is going to fucking like you. And that's okay. And that's how you stop giving so many fucks about what everyone else is saying or thinking or feeling about you. Like, you just have to continue to stand on business, say what you mean what you say. If something was taken out of context that you said, just be like, that was taken out. If you really need to explain yourself, the less words, the better. That was taken out of context. It's not what I meant. I hope you have a great day. Goodbye. Or you can, if somebody's trolling, if you're posting on social media and people are in the comments like trolling you, my favorite thing to do is just like ask them questions. Like, did it make you feel better to say that to me? How's your home life? What are you really mad about? Right? Like, I can do that. I can just kill them with so much more kindness. I don't care anymore. Like, my fucks have left the building. They have left the motherfucking building. Now, does that mean that I don't get put into situations that I find myself in where, like, I had a reflection literally last week about a talking head video that I did that like pissed off one of my close friends, even though it wasn't my intention at all, obviously. And what I was saying was very much so taken out of context and like misunderstood. And I'm not going to explain myself, but like I found myself explaining myself to her because obviously I care about her. And then I did that and I immediately felt like gross because I don't need to be explaining myself. It doesn't matter if I'm close to them or not. And the reflection here for me, as far as this friend of mine getting triggered and taking my shit out of context and then like hitting me up about it in a nice way. She did it as kindly as possible. However, I feel like she was being very critical. And so then I asked myself, where am I being critical in my own life? Because that's what made me an energetic match to experience the reflection in the first place. It's always your higher self trying to tell you something when you're triggered. And obviously I'm being critical of myself in the career area of life and also in the financial area of life, but more so it's always the financial reflections that get me, and the career, of course, like the vocation area of life. And that's just me being critical of myself, obviously, like with taking time off, which is so stupid, but like taking time off for the wedding and the honeymoon is like making me nervous. I don't, which is so stupid. And I'm working on it. But like, I have just been working so hard and like, this is truly the time where I need to like chill and sit back and relax and like really enjoy this era. And I haven't. And I kind of touched on this like a long time ago. I remember doing an episode about this, like in my bride, like not like I was experiencing reflections because I wasn't soaking up my engaged era and my bride era. And I was for a little bit, but now that we're getting closer, I'm just like go and like shoving a bunch of shit in a small amount of time. And then I'm being critical of myself about like not doing it sooner and like being crammed in and having a busier schedule. I don't know. It's so silly. I'm just being critical of myself. So of course that makes me a match to be criticized by other people. So this is immediately something that we need to shift. And I'm working on it, you guys. I'm working on it. But moral of the story, bringing it all back in, is number one, we're no longer shrinking and not saying what we mean and meaning what we say. Like, you can't control other people's opinions around what is being said, that what's coming out of your mouth. Like, and even if it does piss some people off, like, you've got to be okay with it. You've got to just let it go. You can't let it boil inside of you and not continue to live your life and just like not be so hard on yourself about pissing somebody off. So you're always going to piss people off, especially if you're talking a lot in a platform like a podcast or your Instagram, okay? Like, or your TikTok. But you've got to stop filtering yourself, because it doesn't matter what you say or how filtered you make it. Like literally that lady who used the word nappy, she didn't mean anything. She didn't mean any harm by that, right? But she still got shit for it. Like, it just truly doesn't matter. It truly doesn't matter what you say. Somebody always is going to find something to nitpick at you if you are an energetic match for that. So I want you to ask yourself, where have I been filtering my, like, what I actually want to say? Where have I been shrinking in conversations in my, like, real life with friends, with family? Like, say what you mean and mean what you say, period. Don't be afraid to, like, speak up and take up space and share your opinion, even if it's different from what other people are thinking. And even if they don't believe in that, if they're trying to, like, debate you, I'm sorry, but this isn't up for a debate. Like, I'm not trying to debate with you. I said my piece. This is what I believe in. We could just agree to disagree and leave it at that. Like, it truly is that simple, in my opinion. I don't find the need. I'm never going to be the girl that debates, period. But stop shrinking yourself. Ask yourself, like, where am I shrinking? Is it, like, in my real life? And also, if you are showing up on social media, like, where are you filtering yourself to people please and make other people comfortable? Or maybe you want to show up on social media, but you haven't because you're afraid of saying something that's going to piss someone off, or getting the trolls. Or I actually even want you to, like, see the perfection, right? Using the universal law of polarity, like, see the perfection in how, if you were to show up on social media and, like, your shit get on the wrong side of the internet or whatever and piss off a bunch of people, and all of a sudden you have people hating you in the comment section, like, how would that be the best possible thing? How would that be the best thing for you? In my opinion, the shares, the comments, the saves, whatever, it's all just engagement, right? It's all just pushing more of your shit out. So, like, who cares if it's good or bad, in my opinion? Find a way to see the perfection. Find a way to make it funny. Find a way to make it more bearable, I guess. But do not let it shrink you. Do not let it stop you from continuing to post, from continuing to show up, from continuing to speak your piece, your mind, your opinion. Do not let it do that. Because that's when you let other people win. That's when you give your power away. That's when you're being a soft little pussy bitch. And we don't want to be soft little pussy bitches. All right, guys. That's all I've got for you today. I hope you liked today's episode. If you did, make sure you leave a rating and review, please. It helps so much, helps the podcast grow, and means so much to me. I am looking forward to chatting with you soon and hearing how you liked it. All right. See you next week. Bye. If you love this episode, make sure you follow Intuitive Flow so you don't miss the next conversation. And if you're loving the show, leave a 5-star rating and review. It helps more women find this podcast and finally break the cycles they've been feeling stuck in. You can find me on Instagram or TikTok at Mikaela Wallet _. And if you're ready to go deeper into rebuilding your self-trust, raising your standards, and cleaning up your energetic hygiene, check the show notes for ways to work with me below. And remember, the life you want is not out of reach. You just need to become the woman who can hold it. Until next time, keep flowing.